March 9, 2012. In a vision, the Lord Jesus Christ reveals a medical clinic. The people and their children are there concerning a certain disease. Interpretation: a major surge of disease is imminent on the earth.
Prophecy, December 8, 2013. In a dream, a dreadful disease or plague arises from a bird-like creature or bat. It begins in the northern hemisphere of the earth, then spreads to Africa, where it does much damage.
Being Africa's biggest Ebola outbreak in 7 years, scientists have found evidence of the African Ebola virus in Asian fruit bat.
Ebola is here in America, and it was prophesied back in 2012 at Harvest Army Church International.
Judgment will come upon the northeast of America. Can despise it.
Revelation, October 21st, 2012. Small boats are seen being removed from the waters by larger boats. Interpretation: the waters of the Americas and the Caribbean shall be struck.
And that is why Sandy's extremes are so shocking. The East Coast is being pummeled with the power of a record-breaking superstorm.
Oh my God, it's washing everything away!
90-mile-per-hour winds, driving rain, record-breaking high tides, and rough surf lash the coastline.
The superstorm battering the barrier islands. In the crosshairs, Atlantic City. The road into the seafront town is completely submerged. Damage started early. Massive chunks of boardwalk littering the streets. Street after avenue after cul-de-sac inundated.
You gotta take a look at this. All the winds have picked up, and this is what happens. Debris, like pieces of the boardwalk, have come for 3 blocks. That's the ocean back there. Huge waves crashing up and over. Did you see that one? Pushing ocean water. The storm is on top of us right now.
February 24, 2011. Hear this one. The eastern side of an eastern country is seen crumbling and partially submerged. I'm looking at it right now. Crumbling and partially submerged. Now, whenever a prophecy goes like that, then it behooves us, if you are in the east, whatever country you are, to be prepared for it. Crumbling, we see the crumbling and the submerging, whichever country you are in. If you're a country that is prone to earthquakes or prone to tsunamis or whatever, you just be careful. You just be careful.
All right, I'm gonna go under the desk.
March 11th, 2011. A magnitude 9.0 earthquake strikes Japan.
Oh my God, the building's gonna fall!
We're leaving. Where do we go?
Go to the hill.
Half an hour later, a massive tsunami slams the country's northeastern coast.
We
got a powerful wake-up call at 1:42 this morning when an earthquake in Oklahoma shook us awake. It had dozens of people calling 911.
You're not the only one who felt the earthquake this morning. People have taken to Twitter and Facebook talking about how it woke them up this morning. The USGS recorded the 4.7 earthquake near Cherokee, Oklahoma.
And one of the interesting things, I want to show you this here. This is a picture from the National Weather Service of the radar. All the birds taking off when the earthquake hit, it picked up on radar. Very cool.
And we weren't the only ones who felt it. In fact, it was so powerful that it could be felt more than 950 miles to the west in Tucson, Arizona, and all the way to the northeast to Chicago. And that's just the latest in a wild week where we've seen tornadoes, blizzards, and topped off with this morning's quake.
At least 3 people were killed and thousands are without electricity after hurricane-force winds howled across the Northwest.
Oh my God.
70-mile-per-hour winds toppled 175 trees in the city of Spokane, Washington in less than an hour Tuesday. Oh, that one's going right
Where?
there.
Where?
Oh!
Overnight, residents were told not to go outside.
How severe was the wind around 9 p.m. when the neighbor's tree fell on your home?
Oh man, it was something else. I don't know. I never heard wind like that before.
But even residents who are used to dealing with flooding were surprised by this storm.
I've never seen it come up that fast.
In southwest Colorado, 100-mile-per-hour winds led to near whiteout conditions. Nearly 3 feet of snow has fallen in parts of Colorado over the last 72 hours.
Now to that powerful storm sweeping across the country, responsible for dozens of reported tornadoes. Look at that large twister in Texas overnight.
Oh my God.
Massive tornadoes, violent storms, and blinding snow. 5 tornadoes were reported in Texas. The fierce storms churned out violent lightning strikes, leaving more than 6,000 people without power.
Here in Texas, 13 reported twisters touching down. 4 of those reports coming after a tornado tore through the town of Pampa in pitch darkness.
Oh my God! We have a gigantic tornado right in front of us. Power lines exploding.
One of those tornadoes reportedly at least a mile wide, leveling a Halliburton plant. Officials saying the tornado caused chemicals at the site to leak. That spill now contained.
We were at a meeting actually, and all of a sudden we heard the big loud explosion. We thought, I didn't know what it was at first, but it was loud enough that we all stopped.
It was like a minor, like little, maybe a bump, something like that. It was kind of just like a, that motion really.
I was just sitting on my couch watching TV, and I did feel something. And like I said, it's an old house, and I thought maybe the furnace started or something, but I got a text and someone said, "Did you hear about the earthquake?"
Right now, part of a road in Santa Clarita still buckling after a landslide, and it just won't stop. In some spots, the street has risen more than 6 feet, forcing Southern California Edison Power Team to shut off electricity lines along this stretch. Crews on the scene say the cracks are getting bigger. They're getting higher. We'll keep watching this one for sure.
Look at this. It's unbelievable, isn't it, you guys? And it's certainly still moving. It's still happening as we speak. This really looks like something you would see out of an action film, something you'd only see on the big screen, doesn't it? Involving a plot like the end of the world or an earthquake or something destroying roadways like this, but this is all too real, and the earth is still shifting as we speak. This is Vasquez Canyon Road, west of Sierra Highway in the foothills of Canyon Country. All of this took place only in the last 24 hours.
A powerful earthquake strikes the Greek island of Lefkada, killing at least 2 people and wreaking havoc on villages. The quake shook the western Greek island around 9 a.m. on Tuesday, November 17th. Schools on both Lefkada and the nearby island of Kefalonia were closed Tuesday as aftershocks had continued hitting the region.
Hey, get away! Hey, get away from the windows, Jen!
This is what it looked like as the National Weather Service says a tornado ripped through the town of Denair.
That is a serious tornado. Dude, that's a piece of tin. Yeah, hey, we gotta get inside, dude.
I thought those clouds looked really scary, and then it hit.
Bringing with it whipping winds reaching between 85 and 110 miles per hour.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
I've never seen anything like this.
This is absolutely rare for Stanislaus County.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis.
And I'm Haley Wilkes. Thank you for joining us tonight. First, the smell of rotting fish continues to plague Longboat Key residents.
For the past week and a half, those living on the south side of the island have seen thousands of dead fish floating in their canals.
And we have some breaking news at 11. A massive fish kill on Sanibel could keep beachgoers out of the water and off of the sand.
While some, as you heard, are still venturing to the beach, others are avoiding it.
Sanibel City workers have been out here since about 8 o'clock this morning, clearing the beach of those thousands of fish that wash ashore. People we spoke with who live on the island say the massive fish kill is the worst they've ever seen.
Neighbors complained to NBC4 about a terrible smell from dead fish in their apartment pond.
Hundreds of dead fish floated to the surface of this pond right here off Gender Road. And although we don't know the final cause of that death, these geese could be partially to blame. Amesbury Apartments manager says they're doing what they can, picking up hundreds of fish, but say more keep floating to the surface.
A lot of people from eastern Kentucky to well into Illinois and Indiana saw this one and heard it.
And this is what they witnessed, a meteor streaking across the sky. This security camera video came from Steve Hart of Cincinnati.
I turn my head and I see this thing, unbelievably bright.
And I saw this streak of light.
Pamela Post saw it when her husband was looking the other way.
Just over about the last 11 days, there has been nearly 500 reports of bright shooting stars or fireballs in the sky. It's been a busy time the last couple of days, unusually busy.
Now, according to Drew Foster at U of L, the overnight fireball reportedly was as bright as a full moon.
French officials fighting back against terrorists, confirming this afternoon in France that they have launched a series of attacks on 2 jihadi sites, that is in Syria. And you're taking a look at video of jets taking off just before those attacks. The sites hit in Syria are said to be in the capital of ISIS. Officials say they dropped a total of 20 bombs there today.
Team known as BRI had arrived at the Bataclan. One terrorist had already been killed by police. Jeremy knew it would be up to his team to rout out the remaining attackers and free the hostages.
We took position at the end of the theater, and then we discovered like a hell on hers.
With no time to plan, the team had to improvise. They got the theater layout from fire evacuation diagrams on the wall.
One American is dead in a new act of terrorism. This time it happened in the capital of Mali. Terrorists stormed the Radisson Hotel today, armed with guns and grenades. Malayan and French Special Operations Forces freed more than 100 hostages.
To all that helicopter noise you've been hearing, and get ready, you're about to see the action for the first time.
Local and federal law enforcement would not elaborate on the details, just that this was in fact part of a scheduled military exercise.
Military helicopters soaring through the heart of the city.
And we were here in downtown Phoenix. It was all quiet, and then all of a sudden, a big wave. If we saw helicopter after helicopter just coming in, still hearing some of that noise right now here in downtown Phoenix. Now take a look at this video. This was at the Sandra Day O'Connor Federal Courthouse right near the sheriff's office downtown on Jefferson. Now we could see the black helicopters dropping off crews. Some of the people even rappelling down the sides of the building at one point. And looking at these, they're possibly MH-60, MH-6s outfitted for those special operations. People stopping in the street, pointing out windows, looking up.